Hi, I'm Brina.
And I'm Dee Dee.
And we're Mighty Moms, to Owen and Tad, who are both on the autism spectrum,
We're going to share real, honest content and experiences
about what it's like to be a mom of a kiddo on the autism spectrum.
Between the two of us,
There
is
is nothing
we haven't experienced.
We don't hold back, and neither should you.
Here we go.
Welcome to episode 5 of Mighty Moms. It's Brina.
And Dee Dee.
And we're here to
Pump you up.
No, but
We
really.
are here
We
to-
are here to pump you up.
Pump you up with some hope and some laughter.
Yes.
And what else?
Yes.
Anything else you get from this show?
I don't know, but I think we've made that joke before, but I can't remember. Have we? Yeah, it's fine. Episode
Listen,
3.
Daniel's like, episode
Our
3.
producer's like,
4
you
minutes
already
in.
made that joke back in episode 3, so move on.
Oh, my
It's fine.
God.
We already had this conversation.
Hey,
so
we
just,
slept since then, kind of.
and just sort of, Dee Dee doesn't sleep because Tad, she's like some phenomenon. Anyway, she doesn't sleep. She doesn't have to
Don't
sleep.
get me lying.
She like, I don't know, she'll sleep like maybe 2 or 3 hours a night, and then she's like, I'm good to go.
I'm good.
And I'm over here.
I'm fine.
'Cause
I'm fine.
Owen actually
Everything's
does
fine.
sleep thanks to clonidine, and I think we've talked about that before too.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, and I get like probably 7 hours of sleep at night, and I
Oh.
still have huge bags under my eyes. I don't know.
It's because you're getting some good sleep.
I'm getting good sleep, that kind where you don't want to wake up from.
Yeah.
But you have to.
That's what when I take Zyrtec. I
And you
do
were
that.
talking about Tad whenever, I think we talked about this too. So just so y'all know, like the first 4 episodes that we recorded, I was so sick. Like I tried to like not show it, but I was so sick. So I kind of like, I've watched the episodes and I don't remember them like at all.
I don't either, and I wasn't sick.
I don't remember them at all. So I don't know if that's
I don't
like
remember 45 seconds ago.
I was like, man, that sounded pretty good. Did I say that? Because I don't remember. And I don't know.
Yourself?
I shocked myself. And then, I was like, well, I guess we did that because I don't remember it. I was real sick. Like I barely had a voice. So it's
Yeah,
fine.
you'll hear
it's
them
all good now. So
You noticed in the commercials for sure.
yeah. And I haven't gotten that far.
Oh.
And I've only watched like 10 minutes of episode 1.
Oh, it is.
So
I watched the whole episode 1,
anyway,
and it was exciting.
well,
Got
so
me pumped.
good. Maybe I should have watched it before I got here because I'm sleepy. No, I'm good. I'm good. But no, we wanted to talk about a few different things today, but just kind of like see where the conversation takes us because a lot's been going on. And I know the holidays are coming up. And I know that like
you got
yeah,
your tree up.
my tree is up. I put my tree up like the week right at the beginning of Thanksgiving week. So like right as soon as the kids went on break, we put the tree up. The house that we just moved into has the people before us put lights that like you can't see, and they stay up all
nice.
year long.
Nice.
So we're gonna do for April. We're gonna do for Autism
Blue?
Awareness Month. We're gonna do blue.
Yay!
I'm
So you can
excited
change the
about that.
colors.
You can choose. You can color pick any color. It is on an app.
Nice.
You do it all on an app. You turn it on an app. You
Where's
choose the
the
color.
light? I'm interested in this.
It's
Where's the
just like-
lights?
It's like
Under the
it's,
eaves?
and it's a rope, and it's like right under.
Your Eve.
Yeah, of all of it, so it goes all the way around the house. It's really cool. So my husband had on red and green, and I was like, "It's pretty," but I
white's
wanted
classic.
the white.
Yep.
And then he puts it on like the harsh white, and I'm like, "No, the soft white."
Yeah. No
So-
bright light.
Yeah.
Soft white.
So it's on soft white.
Classic.
But so I said, so for like January, we could do like an icy blue. I don't know. Unless, what else is January? Is that like a month for anything? I don't know.
I mean, New Year's.
Yeah.
You can
don't
still
know.
do white.
Still do white. But February, red
Mm-hmm.
for Valentine's
Yeah.
Day. In March, I could do green.
Mm-hmm.
So and so on.
Yep.
But anyway, that's exciting. I'm pumped about being able to do blue for April.
I know. That's exciting. Autism Awareness Month is in April, and so everyone wears blue to...
Not everyone.
what do you mean?
Well, there's like
Well, I'm
huge
sorry.
controversy
Those
about
who-
it. We do. We wear blue.
We wear blue
We wear blue
to support our autism community.
because I mean, why not just pick the color and go like
Yeah.
anyway.
That's another story.
Yeah, that's another
But
episode.
let's talk about let's just talk about, not too long ago, I believe before Thanksgiving, there was a little controversy with the Matt Rife thing. And I don't know him, nor do I follow him, nor I don't know anything about him, but
I just remember
mighty moms that we know have, they commented on.
Yeah.
I'm going to try to find that post.
Okay, so
keep talking.
I'll keep talking. So I'm good at that. But so a few months ago, back in October-ish, or I don't know, September, I don't know, is when I first saw his name in my newsfeed, and I was like, okay, well, I'm not cool because I don't know who this is, but I am really bad. I forget to get on TikTok, and yes, we want you to follow us on TikTok, but I don't know, I'm about to be 44, we're in our 40s, and maybe all people in their 40s aren't like that, but I just feel really old. And I feel like, how can I keep up with also TikTok, right? So, Facebook is, where it's at for me, because it's my mom's on Facebook. I post pictures of my kids on Facebook. But it's anyway, I forget to get on TikTok. So, I didn't know who he was.
Is he only on TikTok? I thought he travels and...
I think so, but, I think that's just, where people started seeing his, clips.
Gotcha.
So, he's a comedian, I guess we use that term loosely, right? Because I don't find him that funny, and I'm not I love comedians. My favorite comedian is Brian Regan. I don't know if y'all have heard of him, but oh my gosh, if you haven't, YouTube it now, and if you haven't, then I don't know, you've been missing out. I love comedy. I like to think we're funny sometimes, but
I think we could be comedians.
I think so,
without even trying.
Yeah. For sure.
Ha ha.
Anyway, so
I found that
we
post.
both unknowingly didn't know who this. We hadn't talked about him, but there was I know a lot of my friends went to see his show this last week, and I was like, oh, cool, whatever. I probably liked a lot of their posts because I was like, I don't know who he is, but they're going to see a show. That's awesome. Whatever. I love going to concerts. I've gone to see Brian Regan 2 or 3 times in Dallas over the years, and but I didn't know who he was still. Even when I saw it a month ago. So go ahead and read the post.
So our girl Sabrina Turner, she's the one who posted, well, I'm glad that I didn't bother wasting money on Matt Rife in person just to hear him make fun of people who are autistic, have an extra chromosome, or special needs. I did, however, waste 20 minutes on the Netflix show. So that I saw her post and I was like, wait a minute.
Yeah, and
I'm
so
going to start looking into this.
Yeah, and I know her and have known her for years, since we were in high school. And I know she wouldn't, first of all, I've never seen her, complain or out anybody on social media. So
she's a very trustworthy source.
Yes, when I saw that she put that on there, I was like, okay,
and then there's lots of comments throughout. Some clips I thought were funny, but now I know he's just another ignorant person out there that he thinks it's okay.
Yeah.
There's just a lot of posts on that, a lot of feedback on her post. And of course, Brina had mentioned, hey, Dee, how about let's talk about this on the show, because it's very important. And
well, yeah, I had commented on her post and tagged Dee Dee and said, hey, we need to talk about this on the podcast. And, if anything, I know our following is still growing, but autism moms stick together. Special needs moms stick together. And I've even seen a few, of course, when I started looking it up, I'd even seen a few posts where autism moms supported him and they were like, this is funny. And so the only autism joke that I saw that he made, honestly, it just makes him look like an idiot because he asked about well, where is he on the spectrum? He said, is he just little by little?
Oh, yeah, I saw that
and
clip too.
Honestly, I just thought,
and then
what
she
an
was
idiot.
like, he's nonverbal. And he's like, oh, so he got it.
Yeah.
He got that.
So just to, if you haven't seen
funny.
it, yeah, it's not funny, but if you haven't seen it, there's a mom in the audience, and apparently he brought up autism, and he says, does anyone here have any children who are autistic? And apparently she raised her hand and said, and he said, oh, you do? And he said, yeah. How old is he? And she said 4. And then he asked, how autistic was he?
Yeah, basically.
And she said, well, he's nonverbal. And then he said, what did you, then he got it.
He got that, it's a disease or something.
It honestly just made him look so stupid. How stupid. Because first of all, if you know it, even if you don't know anything about autism, even if you just pay attention to your surroundings, because there's so much awareness out there right now, like you don't, it's a spectrum. So where you could have a child who's very, let's say nonverbal, like Tad, for example, he's nonverbal, but he doesn't have like self-injurious behaviors. Aggression. Where you have my son who's 8 and nonverbal, who is highly aggressive at the moment. He goes through phases and hopefully he will grow out of it.
I think so.
But he is very aggressive. And so
and then you have those that can speak and can do miraculous things and no one even knows, but they are autistic. So it is such a huge spectrum.
But no matter where they are on the spectrum, at points, even for that person who is verbal,
hard.
It can be debilitating.
Battle,
and it's a handicap as of now. And I'm not saying that like, oh, feel sorry for them or, anything like that. But to speak on a subject that's so sensitive when you have zero frame of reference. And not only do you not have a frame of reference, but it's like you have, have some couth about you, don't make fun of people who are different than you. Like, don't we know that as adults? Like, we're trying to teach children that, but there are adults out there who haven't learned that lesson yet.
I did watch also a clip of where Sabrina's talking about the extra chromosome, and that
one actually made
raunchy.
That one actually made me more mad. You sent it to me.
But prior to that scene that you saw, I believe he used the R word, and so that's what she was talking about. I mean, it was so sad.
So it's like a year or two ago, I was reading about the history of the word retarded. And so when it was initially used, it was used to describe people who had learning disabilities. And it was in no way derogatory, and society didn't see it as a derogatory word because that's how, like, it was the same as us saying now special needs. So what happens is society
makes
fun of that word until it becomes something we can no longer use. And that's what society is now doing with the term special needs. They're making fun of that word so that we can now no longer use it. So when I say making fun of it, someone's saying something like, stop being special needs and whatever. Stop being retarded.
And then I've heard people use the R word
still
as it being a good thing, like, oh man, that was retarded, like hyping it up.
Oh, wow.
And I'm like,
here's
that? Like,
here's my thing.
I don't understand it.
Expand your vocabulary. like even if think to yourself.
What does that sound like?
Let me look up. Even if it's the only adjective that let me find some other words that I can put in the place of this word so that I am not making fun of people who already live with challenges every day. And that's what we have to say to you, Matt Rife. Literally, you can make jokes about anything, but you choose to make fun of children with autism, a 4-year-old, no less, who's nonverbal. Oh, he got it.
Yeah, and then
did that make you feel so good?
His classmate that had Down syndrome is the other thing he went off on. So,
and if you know, we're not going to talk about what he said on that clip, but if you know, you know.
Yeah, it was horrible.
It was disgusting and ridiculous. Yeah. Anyway.
So, me and Brenda put together a little letter to you, Matt Rife.
So, we have a letter. This is our letter.
We've never heard anything good about you, Matt Rife, but as soon as we heard you use the R word and began making fun of special needs children, we immediately were happy with our decision of not jumping on the Matt Rife bandwagon. I'm sure this is why you say the things you do for more attention to be on you. Oh, I kind of rhymed there.
Yeah, you did.
Whoa. Whoa.
Yeah, you did.
To get everyone fired up and talking about you. Well, it worked for the special needs community, and we can't go on without saying we strongly believe that special needs topics should be off the table when it comes to comedy.
Off the table.
Until you are affected by or care for someone with special needs 24/7, you do not understand the full ramifications of how it's in no way, shape, or form funny to make fun of special needs children or adults. So you did grab our attention, and we did mention you on our social media and our podcast, but I'm sure you know the power of social media, but I'm sure you know the power and strength of special needs moms. They definitely aren't a force to be reckoned with, so may the Lord be with you now in the days to come. That's all we're going to say about that. That's all I got to say about that.
So, needless to say, we're not a fan. Not that he cares, but whatever. Have your 5 minutes.
Yeah.
Have your 5 minutes.
But I couldn't go on without saying that, because that hurt a lot of families. But it also, thank you, because it brought a lot of people together.
Yeah.
It brought the special needs community together to defend their children. And so, I mean, I guess that's the positive out of this when you're trying to make lemonade out of lemons.
But he's not the only person who does that.
No,
a
there's
lot of people do that. A lot of people put their 2 cents in where it's not needed, where they have no experience, no frame of reference. Family, people you see at the grocery store, people, whatever, like at a restaurant, the glares, the snarky comments. Like
we talked about that on our podcast before too.
And we're going to talk about the times people come together and the times people show you love. Like, we're not trying to be negative, but we are going to talk about some things, and we might as well do it right now whenever we're mad at Matt Rife.
Okay, what are we talking about?
Well, just people who just say stupid things, and like don't like. If you go to, we talked about that before, like if you go to the grocery store or whatever, that's all coming back to me now. It's fine. But what I'm saying,
Jenna's like, you already
episode 2.
Minute 4:36.
But I might have been holding back a little bit because I wasn't feeling like getting into it. Now I am. So let's do this.
Well, I'm sure we can think of hundreds of instances where we've gotten that look. Or even rude comments.
Well, and it's not even that. It's like people who okay, let's just say before my husband and I had Owen, okay, and we had Carter, who's highly intelligent. And I'm not just saying that because he's my kid. He is. He's very smart. He's
very talented.
He's always been very social. He's always minded really well. Like, we did not know how good we had it. We didn't. And I don't. It wasn't perfect by any means, but I'm just saying we wanted to go to dinner when he was 7. When he was 5, when he was 3, we go. And a lot of times we didn't think we could because we've got a kid. We could have taken him to backpack across Europe and we would have been fine. He's just like a little adult. And things change whenever you have a child who, like I mentioned a few minutes ago, has those self-injurious behaviors.
Oh yeah.
And like I'm not going to go sit down at the restaurant down the street and take Owen, and the moment something goes wrong, and it is not because he needs a spanking, it's because he has sensory processing disorder. He gets overwhelmed by certain senses that we don't even notice. And he starts hitting himself or hitting me or pulling my hair, which he's done before. I've literally had bald spots on the sides of my head where he's pulled my hair out. And he didn't get a spanking because it would have only made the situation worse.
Right. But you can, like, parents that are on the outside looking in are like, man, he needs a whipping.
Yeah.
Well, that boy needs a whipping.
Yeah.
If that was my kid,
and
I'd
I
take
can't
him
say
to
I
the
wouldn't have thought that years ago, but it's just like, when people just assume, like, why don't you, I mean, okay, I know it's probably hard, but like, you could come and he'll be fine.
No.
And let him, you go to someone's house, he's fine. You don't have to watch him. No, trust me, I have to watch him. Because we may go into your kid's bedroom and you're, literally sometimes he goes on a destructive spree. And we've talked about this. Like, what do we have in our house that, like, You know, when I decorated for Christmas, I had one table. It's just so dumb for me to even think that this was going to make it to Christmas. And it was just had Christmas trees, you know, like the ones you get from Hobby Lobby. And I had a few on there that were from like a local boutique, like home store. And they were glass, of course. And last night I hear,
bam.
And I'm like, why did I think that would make it to Christmas?
Yeah.
Like, I don't even know, you know, because we don't normally have things just like sitting around.
Right. He'll grow out of that because Tad was like that.
But that's why we have to stay on top of him all the
time.
Right.
Absolutely. Because Tad didn't like anything on the walls at our house. I put something up, he'd take it down.
He didn't like anything on the walls?
No, nothing.
So Owen's like that in his bedroom only. Did I already say this about the giraffe on his wall?
No.
So, okay, because we just moved, and the first thing I did was make sure his room was all perfect and decorated, and I wanted him to just feel so cozy and all that. So when he stayed with my parents the weekend that we moved, and then he came home and his room was ready. But there's this one little picture, and it's printed on a canvas, and I got it on Wayfair. I'll drop the link in the comments. But it's just this little painted giraffe, like a portrait of this giraffe, and he takes it down. Every time I put it up, he takes it back down. Just this one little picture. He does not like that giraffe.
He didn't like that giraffe looking at him.
I guess so.
I don't know what
he walked in his room and he looked around and he walked straight over to the giraffe, took it off the wall, and put it face down on his dresser. And I was like, okay. Hey, if you like everything, if that's the only thing in here you don't like, I did good.
Yeah, that's right.
So
that giraffe must be weird.
But, you know, that's like, people don't understand that that's why we have to stay on top of our kids. Like, we're not, you know, that's why you invite us and we don't come. And it's not because we don't want to. It's because we literally can't.
No.
You know, we literally can't.
It's stressful. And sometimes you're like, why even go there? Why even put yourself through it when...
And also, we like to keep them in their happy space, you know?
Safe space.
So I'm sorry, I keep going back to this, but like the Matt Roth thing, I'm just imagining my husband and I, say I did follow him and I thought he was funny.
And you were at his show. I can't
imagine. And I was at his show. And I'm even thinking about that mom who said, my son's I'm wondering, you know, because if someone asks you that, you're at a show, you think this comedian's funny, you've never heard him make jokes about, I promise you, if that mom had heard him make jokes about special needs kids or kids on the spectrum, she would not, prior to her going to his show, I don't think she would have gone. But, you know, he asked, and so she's going to say, I have a son on the spectrum, you know. And I thought, personally, I thought the joke that he made about the casino after that was kind of funny because they are super smart like that.
I really don't think that particular instance or that video you saw was a bad. Yeah. Because I've seen autism moms post how he's supporting them. And then I believe this Netflix show is where did this come from? Like he went it wasn't just autism and special needs. I mean, he bashed women. That's why I was saying he was bashing women too. Women left and right, and
women in certain body types, like and really loving, high standards.
Yeah, and the ones that, you know, blame them, that he just was very
disgusting.
Yes. Yeah. And the little videos, I didn't watch the Netflix, so I don't want to give him the points
can't
on
even,
it.
I know.
I don't want to be like, oh, I viewed it. Nope. Because the little bit that I did get, and what Sabrina said, I'm like, no, I don't want to give.
All I know is that clip that you sent me. I don't want to watch anything else like that.
No, it was horrible
again. So, anyway,
yeah, it was horrible. This podcast has been brought to you by Wolf Chiropractic. Tad has been seeing Dr. Wolf for many years now. We believe that chiropractic care has helped with his sensory issues, pain relief, healed his scoliosis, and gives him an overall sense of well-being. Best of all, the staff works with us to ensure we never have to wait. We are in and out very quickly. For all your chiropractic needs, give Wolf Chiropractic a call at 580-931-3343. He'll get you all lined out.
Does your child need speech therapy, physical therapy, or occupational therapy? Visit thespottexoma.com to schedule an appointment today. The Spot provides speech, occupational, and physical therapy services to children and adults in the Texoma region. They operate with a patient-centered approach paired with parent and family involvement and training. They are eager to help you and your child build communication skills that will last a lifetime. So call 580-740-0205 or visit thespottexoma.com. Listen, my carpets used to be a struggle to keep clean. Between 2 boys and 2 fur babies, I was always cleaning up spills and stains. Then I found Ray at ChemDry. And basically, I've had him on speed dial ever since. So when you need your carpets, furniture, or even hardwood floors cleaned, call or even text ChemDry at 903-815-5811. Ray will get you all cleaned up.
We all need to take care of our teeth, and it can be extremely difficult for children with unique needs to care for their teeth due to the sensory issues. Dr. Taylor Markham and the team at Westside Family Dentistry can ensure you and your child's teeth are in tip-top shape. Give them a call at 580-924-1234 today to schedule your next appointment. CLC Fencing and Welding builds quality, affordable buildings and miscellaneous structures. From beautiful barn-dominiums to shop buildings and rustic cedar, wood, or iron fencing, they can do it all. We personally use them for all our fencing and welding needs. CLC Fencing and Welding serves Grayson, Fannin, Collin, and Bryan County areas. So if you're in the hunt for a great welder, give our friends at CLC Welding a call at 903-436-3888.
Founded, owned, and operated by nurses, Angels of Care Pediatric Home Health's clients are at the heart of everything they do. Proudly serving the medically fragile community since 2000, Angels of Care offers private duty nursing services, speech, physical, and occupational therapies, and respite care across the nation. We are also happy to announce we have started offering ABA services in Colorado. Please visit angelsofcare.com or call 855-45-ANGEL for more information. Get your halos on.
If you've been in an automobile accident or have vehicle damage, S&L Collision Center is the body shop to call for all your auto body repair needs. Larry Hallmark and family have been in business for many years. They are honest and do exceptional work. I have had all of my vehicles repaired by them and have always been satisfied with their work. So if you're in the need for auto body repair, call S&L Collision Center at 580-924-5958.
Welcome back to the rest of episode 5. Woo woo! Okay, so anyway, here we are, and we got all of our angst out against Matt Rife.
Yeah.
And we're good. We're at peace with it now. It's fine. We can move on. But
can we? I'm just kidding.
I was gonna tell you about, we were talking about self-injurious behaviors. Yeah. So it's funny because at ABA therapy, they have a lot of little acronyms that they use. And so for that, they say SIB. Oh. And so when Owen first started ABA therapy, he was like 3. And at the end of every day, when they walk your kid, because like with them, you do the same routine. Mm-hmm. Like they bring him out the door, walk him to the car, but they can't touch the car or put him in his car seat. So you have to go around to get him, put him in. And then as you're putting them in the car seat, they always give you like a report piece of paper where they write down everything throughout their entire day. And I'll never forget the first time one of the therapists said, Owen had a lot of SIBs today. And I'm like going, like in the context, I'm
serious,
assuming that's a negative, but I don't know.
Serious irritable bowel. I mean, I have to, when I get acronyms like that, I'm like, yeah, what would it be?
Let me Google that real quick. But
I mean, SIB, it's almost.
He had a lot of SIBs
so
today.
Serious, what is it called? Self-injurious behaviors. for parents that don't know? They have to Google it?
You just like learn, and they don't explain it to you either. They're like, unless you say,
Oh,
I'm
that
sorry,
mom that's like, SIB.
what is that? But serious, irritable. I'm like, well, it wasn't too serious because he's got the same clothes on that he that he came in this morning. So I mean, but anyway, it was just funny. It took me a while, but that was one of those.
So you had to just Google it.
Yeah.
You said, what is SIB?
I think I just asked.
Oh, I was gonna say.
But yeah, I have Googled things before when they tell me like, I don't know. I can't remember any of the other acronyms right now, but yeah,
Right.
SIB. I did think it had something to do with bowels, though.
Okay,
for sure.
thank you.
Yeah, but I don't. I just was like, okay, well, do I give him Pepto? I don't know what's going on. We don't know.
So what is
SIBs are not funny,
Okay,
but I'm
I
just
wanted
saying the
to-
acronym in and of itself is kind of funny.
Yeah, that is kind of funny.
Yeah.
So what kind of self-interest behavior does he have? Like, what do they mean by, like, what did he do that day? Or?
And I think a lot of it stems from them being nonverbal,
Frustrated.
He's so frustrated that he can't like you idiot. Why can't you read my mind?
Yeah, I know.
I mean, Owen is
I feel like Tad at times, for example, last night I turned on his show and I had the remote and he's not looking at the show. He's looking straight at the remote like Matilda. Like if I look at it hard enough, it's going to lift up and it's going to change. And so I'm like, oh, you don't like the show. Do you like this one? And he's like,
I can
okay.
so see him doing
And then
that
I
too.
finally get on something he likes and he's like,
Yeah.
okay, so it's cool.
Yeah.
But that's what I mean.
Yeah.
Like people don't understand.
No, and also
But we
if it was anyone else sitting next to him besides you or his dad,
Yeah.
like they would never have known that he wanted
And he
to
would
change.
get frustrated. He would get up. He'd walk out.
Yeah.
His thing is he just walks out.
Yeah.
Like he leaves.
Oh, that's
He
nice
gets up
that he does that.
And he walks, or
but
if the door's locked, he's jiggling it. Like he
yeah.
does not. He's not
frustrated.
happy.
He's upset about something.
But he will be in the bed if it's what he wants to watch.
Yeah.
So
Owen is like
the frustration.
He just gets so frustrated, and or sometimes it is when he doesn't get his way, and that is like we probably need to do an entire episode about how do you ask
how do you distinguish which is which?
Ask our viewers and the people who subscribe to us to send us tell us how do you discipline your child on the spectrum, and I say that because I'm not anti-spanking. I do believe that you can have a conversation with your child 9 times out of 10 instead of just going straight to a spanking. And I think that helps them learn how to communicate to other people as they grow up and grow into adults. But I mean, I do think there are times when a spanking is necessary.
Because our children, even though they're not typical, they still go through the typical
Let
behaviors.
me tell you, they do. Owen is and he's 8 right now, and he is at that, he knows when he's getting into something that he's not supposed to.
Tad got in the pantry today and was like,
yeah.
And I'm like, this is that.
He
He's
knows,
trying to
and
show.
Owen's very mischievous, and we've talked about Pica before, them wanting to eat things that are not food.
Does he
and
have
Owen,
that?
He does, and he knows too that we don't his thing is lotion or soap or shampoo, and I have
Does he
these
lick
huge
it, or
things. He'll
just like
wants to pump it on his hand and then.
eat it so you don't see it?
Yeah, and then he looks at me and he'll have soap, and I'm like, "What you been doing?" And he's like,
just eating your shampoo, Mom.
and I don't know, but it's he knows when and there's things way more mischievous than him trying to eat my shampoo, but I'm just saying he knows when he is being mischievous or doing things that we've repeatedly asked him, told him not to do.
Yeah.
And I don't it's such a fine line between, how to discipline. And of course we try to explain to him, and I don't know how much of it is actually that he's retaining. And we went from when he was 3, you could not say the word no. You literally could not say
he would flip out
the word no. It was he was so over
no.
And anything that had a negative connotation, not just no, but don't, or if it
Because
just
he felt that
sounded like you
emotion,
were, it was
too.
like this emotion. And we went through a phase when he was a toddler where I felt like, oh my gosh, like
You know,
how
I
are we
don't-
going to function? And it would be like, even if like, say he was in my lap, and this was not now, but this is like when he was 3 or 4, say he was sitting in my lap and my husband said, hey, do you want to order a pizza? And I said, no.
Oh, it would bother
He
him.
would just turn around and just like punch me.
So it was
And
like,
I know, and
it
I've heard
was
of other
tied
kids doing this
to-
too.
Yeah, it was tied to negativity. And
It was like negative. And so on the flip side of that, and I know anybody who's hearing this who has never experienced that is like, that kid needs a whipping, you
Oh,
know?
yeah.
But like, because he was it wasn't just SIBs. It was,
Mm-hmm.
he was hitting other people. He was hitting me. He was hitting, whoever was around him.
It was a
He
trigger
pulled hair a
somewhat
ton, but there
for
was
him.
something that was triggering him in that moment where he was hearing those words that sounded negative or were like, no, don't, whatever. And so it would have to be like, hey, do you want a pizza? And it was like, I'm really thinking that I would like something else besides pizza. What do you guys think about
I
that?
get it.
Because
get it.
your voice couldn't even sound.
But
like,
I remember that. Let me go back to my childhood
'cause-
days because
Oh.
I remember I hated when people went shh.
Really?
Oh, it went all over me. You don't say shh to me, and I don't.
She still hates that.
I mean, don't shush me and don't honk at me. Unless I really need to be honked at, like if I'm not paying attention. I
like
need
one of
to
those little tap tap.
Yeah, a
honks,
little
like,
tap, but
the light
no.
turned green, you can go, but not like.
But I can see, I wanted to say years ago when Tad started ABA, I thought we were told not to use the word no. Instead,
Well, it is common. And we found that out later on.
Yeah,
that
I
it's
didn't know.
Common. It's not just.
we don't know that though, right?
No,
So
we
as a
didn't
parent,
know.
you
We were just
know
like,
you
what
don't
is
touch
wrong
that.
with him?
Instead, you
Yeah.
say we don't touch that.
Or we wouldn't even say anything unless it was just something redirective, like
Yeah.
let's go play with a puzzle. I mean, it just wasn't no. And you just retraining yourself to like not say the word no. That was
So like
wild.
what else? Like
So-
is
so-
he getting a lot better or
So he goes through waves.
You
and
think
right,
when he doesn't
I'm
feel
gonna be
good?
honest with you because that's what we're here for, and I know somebody else probably going through this too. It's really hard right now.
yeah?
He is, and it's hard when you see your child hurt themselves.
Yeah, I can't
You know?
imagine.
And so, like, what am I gonna do? Like, I'm gonna say you better stop, or I'm gonna spank you. When he's sitting there hitting himself, which hurts way worse
Does
than
he
the spanking.
can you redirect him or he's
So
absolutely
yeah,
not?
I mean, literally that that's my life. Like that needs to be like my title of my job.
Redirector.
I am a redirector. Because that's
Redirector.
all we do is redirect. Like
I think that's your
you
state.
can do that with just about anybody.
Absolutely.
Redirect.
But I feel like he's probably going through like a growth time.
Definitely he's going through a growth spurt, and when he does, it's worse.
Yeah.
It's
I
definitely
noticed that
worse.
with Tad too, and you have to do a lot of more redirecting when
Yeah.
those times come. Or I notice, Tad doesn't have the self-interest behavior, but he has a lot of sensory.
Yeah.
And I noticed that it happens when he's either physically not feeling well or he's going through a growth spurt, his stomach's upset, things like that.
That's
you
the
were
case
saying
with
his
Owen a lot
stomach was
because
upset.
he'll be upset. He'll have an upset stomach, or there's a ton of tummy issues with kids on the spectrum.
Oh, yeah, their gut
We've
is
talked
so-
about that before. We probably need to do a whole episode about gut issues for kids on the spectrum. Maybe get a specialist in, but like he's gone through some really horrible things lately with his tummy, and it's so hard because when you have a child who doesn't want to eat and then all of a sudden they do want to eat, it's hard to say, well, you can't eat that because it has gluten in it. Like one of his very favorite foods is macaroni and cheese, but
And
it's
he
got to
won't
be
eat the gluten-free one?
no, I've bought the Annie's ones that are, but he likes the Velveeta shells mac and cheese.
Oh, so he wants the actual shell pasta.
Yes.
Ooh, I don't
So
know
I
any
can't-
gluten-free shell pasta.
There's not. So Annie's makes the little, so he's used to the little cups of Velveeta that go in his lunchbox.
Mm-hmm.
And so Annie's makes a gluten-free one, but it's just the macaroni noodle. And he will not have it. And he's like, that's poison. I know you're trying
That's
to
too
poison
good
me
for
right
me.
now. I mean, literally. Like, sometimes when we try to get healthy things in him, he's like, no, you know.
Not gonna happen.
And it could be something that if he found it on his own, he'd love it, you know. And that's how we have to like make him allow him
explore
to discover the food on his own. Like, if I want him to try something, I honestly will like make it, cook it, let him watch me cooking it,
and you eat it.
and then I make a bowl for myself and
Yep.
act like he's not even there, and I just go sit down with it on the sofa and like I'm gonna eat it, and then
he's like,
and he's pulling on me like, hello, you're supposed to feed me, you know, like.
And then he likes
You
it.
can't feed yourself. Yeah. Then he tries it, and then he likes it, and I'm like,
That's just
But
maybe
that's how
he's just used to that routine, and
it
he
has
knows
to
that
be. He has to discover. Like, if I'm like, hey, Owen, come look at this, he is not going to come look at this. He is going to do anything but what I'm asking him to do. And it's not like a defiance thing. It's,
interest isn't there.
I
It doesn't pique his
guess.
curiosity.
but I mean, we've learned that, and that's how we work around it on the food.
Mm-hmm.
You know, we just say, I'm just going to make this for myself. I'm cooking. This smells so good. This is going to taste so good. It's going to just be so fulfilling.
Talking that for him. But
oh
you know,
my
that's
goodness. It's gonna be
typical
so
children
good.
go through that.
Yeah, that's true.
I mean, they do. You have picky eaters.
He's always been picky. And like now he's still picky. But when there's something that he likes, he'll eat a lot of it. Like, I don't know. Oh, one day, a couple weeks ago, I made Mexican casserole. And that's like a staple at our house. Like, we make it once every probably 3 weeks. And there's always leftovers. And it's just something we can heat up throughout the week. And I make it spicy because my husband likes spicy. And I actually like it spicy. So I make it spicy. And usually he doesn't eat it. Well, he took a bite of it. And it's like the sensory I get. Like the flavor just like it got him excited.
Oh,
and
yeah?
I'm not necessarily sure that he liked it, but he wanted to keep eating it.
Yeah.
And he kept eating it until I know his tummy just had to be full.
Yeah.
But he was doing it because it was a sensory thing.
Yeah,
And then
and
I
not-
read online that that's a thing. Like, some people actually have to make their kids stop eating or drinking water.
I have to do it with Tad.
And
He'll
about
eat,
that
eat,
same
eat,
time,
eat,
he was
eat.
drinking way too much
Yep.
water at school, and they had to let me know, and I had to take him to the doctor because, like, we were afraid, like, his blood sugar was like he was drinking so much
water. Yeah.
And I read online that sometimes kids with autism do that because it's a sensory thing, and so it's like
Yeah.
can't win for losing.
Right.
You know, it's like
Yeah.
you finally get them to eat and drink stuff, and then
Right.
then they overeat or overdrink.
I have to tell Tad, you just ate. You're full. You just ate.
and remind him.
Yeah. And he's like,
Think about how your tummy feels
Yeah,
right now. It's
you're
full.
full.
Yeah.
But yeah, he goes through times where he'll just eat. So
Yeah.
anyway, well, my heart goes out to anybody that their child has self-interest behavior. I can't imagine. I know there's all
Yeah.
cases of how much that they do to themselves,
And just know that, like we said, I mean, it does get better. Owen's has gotten better. He's just like, I do think that his like is a little bit worse when he is going through a growing spurt. And there's things that, like, I don't know that he's feeling, you know, like my oldest son, when he would go through growth spurts when he was Owen's age, he would have a lot of pains
that's
in
what
his
I was
legs
gonna say, like
and
leg
things
cramps,
like that.
and he could tell you, "Hey, my legs
I did
hurt."
not know that was a thing. So
Yeah.
my oldest son is like 6'2", 6'3", and he's only 14. My husband's 6'2", 6'3". Well, I mean, he's 45, but he's done growing. But but I'm just saying they're tall. And so my husband remembers when he was a kid, when he would go through growth spurts, like he would have pains. And I was like, what?
Yeah, I never had it
And
either.
he
It
was
must
like,
be a boy thing.
I don't
maybe.
know.
I don't know.
And yeah, and Daniel's going,
Daniel's saying you have two boys, right? Did they go through?
Yeah.
growing
And so,
pains?
did you know that, Sierra? I had no idea. So
I didn't
have
either.
growing pains. So I told my husband, I was like, we were talking about this years ago when my oldest son was younger, because he would wake up in the middle of the night, his legs were just in so much pain. And as a mom, I'm like, okay, like, what's wrong? Do we need to go to the ER? Like, I'm
Right.
thinking blood clot.
Yeah.
You know, all those things are running through my mind. And it's like growing
goes to the-
pains.
Woo!
You know, that's what moms
go to
do.
the ER.
You know, that's what moms do. We never went to the ER because of leg pain. But I'm just saying, you know.
I've never had growing pains. I really think it's a gender thing, maybe.
It's got to be because, I thought maybe it was just my guys in our family
No,
because they're
Tad
so
has
tall.
them, and Mike said he had
Tad's
them.
tall,
Yeah,
but
I know that. I feel like he's had them.
he's like, I'm not tall, and I've had them. Well, I don't know. So it's maybe a gender thing. I don't know if some females have had them too. But anyway, I've never had growing pains. So
Yeah.
that I knew. I thought growing pains is like I don't know. I didn't know it was an actual thing, but apparently it is. So anyway, he could be going through that, but
Yeah. So it's important to kind of trial and error and see what's going on with your child. Are they sick? Or they have more sensory? You know, they have
and
a
maybe
bad
we can
day?
talk about this more whenever Dr. Rios comes to
Yeah,
visit.
that's a good question for him. So starting January, we will start having guests on our shows. If you're interested in being a guest on our show or know someone, we'd like to hear from you.
Hit us up.
Yep. Just message us on any of our socials, and we will look into it.
Yeah. And so today we're going to sign off, and we'll see you back here on episode 6.
Whoop, whoop. 6-6.
Whoop, whoop.
Oh.
Okay, Mighty Moms, we're signing off.
Connect with us on our Mighty Moms socials, submit your topic ideas, and share it all.
Follow us at Mighty Moms Podcast on Facebook, Instagram, TikTok, and YouTube.
Also, visit our website at mightymomspodcast.com. And remember,
Together, we are a worldwide cult of Mighty Moms.
I forgot I left beef in my kitchen. When you said I made Mexican casserole, I'm like, oh my gosh, I left a pound of meat in my sink. It's going to go to waste. It was that good organic beef, too.